not sure if my voice is coming through the camera, but I'm gonna try to talk and explain exactly what I'm trying to do by recording this. First thing, it's very beautiful, and I kind of wanted to create a journey of I'm trying to gather my thoughts while I deal with my really bad stamina right now. Yes, I was just trying to create a video journal of things that I do throughout my life and how they change as I continue to grow. Because I have a lot of problems, and it's gonna be very loud because of all the cars, but I'm gonna keep trying to talk and share my thoughts. Today is November 26th, and the time must be around 3:30 or something. And let me get back on track of what I was saying. So I want to create a video journal that shows how I change as my life progresses. And this journal is really for me. I am not sure if I'm going to upload this on YouTube yet, or anywhere else for that matter, but I wanted to create a video journal just to look back at, you know, when I'm older, and see how much I've grown or how little I've grown. I don't really know. You know, the concept of growth is weird because growth is not linear, you know. You're growing at multiple things at the same time. Like, for example, if you like soccer, soccer has its own growth path compared to, let's say, if you go to college. Now that's a different growth path. Things you enjoy, you tend to grow more in, more rapidly, and things you don't really enjoy, growth is, well, it really just depends on your dedication. I'm just going off on a tangent. I don't really know exactly what I'm even talking about, but the key is to keep talking, and that's what I'm gonna do. I've tried to do many things in life, most of which I didn't stick with, and you know, the first step in my opinion is acknowledgement of your shortcomings, so then you can start working on them. And my shortcoming is inconsistency. It's a bit off topic, but I'm a little scared that this camera is gonna fall off, because I'm just using the stock adhesive that came with this GoPro. I'm using a GoPro 10 attached to my bike right now, and I'm just going out for a ride. So yeah, what was I saying? Growth. It's something I've been wanting to talk about, and it's really for myself. I don't really understand what I want to grow in, so what I end up doing, ooh, a little bumpy, what I end up doing is I try to grow in multiple things at the same time, which is natural. A lot of people do that, but the problem with it is if you don't really know what your goal is in life, then you just go from one thing to another blindly, and you end up not doing anything at the end. At least that's how I feel. I'm 22 years old, so I'm still trying to figure things out, and I figured having a little video journal might help with that. Yeah, I'm very glad this camera is staying on. You know, COVID uh, really helped me understand myself, because I was in isolation. I had time to think. I even had COVID, and because of that I got a month off from work. My workplace was very generous in that regard only. Otherwise the job was absolutely terrible. But they gave me a month off, which I'm very grateful for. I'm no longer with them, but regardless of that, in that month off I was just, for the first 3 weeks at least, so for like 75-80% of the time off I had, I was alone in isolation, because I live with my family and I didn't want to get them sick. So that's kind of where I feel like I started thinking about this stuff, like really, you know, what is growth, what do I want to grow in, and how can I make it happen. I'm gonna walk a little bit because the area is blocked off. I remember back in school we had to read this book, Siddhartha, by, what was his name, Herman Hesse, I think, and I didn't really pay attention to it. Yeah, so I didn't really pay attention to it. So I tried reading it again last month, and my god, it's a good book. It's a really good book. Siddhartha was a great book because it taught me that your sins, your mistakes are, you know, they're part of your path to enlightenment. You can't neglect them, you can't run away from them. You shouldn't be, you shouldn't fear making mistakes. There is a whole morality side to it. Obviously you don't want to go around murdering people and then feel that you can reach nirvana or enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, being one with yourself. You could probably still do it, but it would be a lot harder to live with yourself and reach enlightenment if you did all that stuff. Basically my point is, don't be afraid to make mistakes, but don't make grave mistakes that you'll have to suffer for the next 30-40 years of your life. In my opinion, that all ties into growth. Growth isn't always a good thing. There are bad things that happen with growth, but you gotta learn to embrace them, because at the end of the day they're just obstacles that you have to overcome. That's what life is. That's the meaning of life. It's overcoming obstacles constantly. And the day you stop overcoming obstacles is the day you start to get dull. And eventually, if you get dull enough, you die. I do feel like I'm more calm now in my life than I ever was. Probably because of a job that challenges me, stresses me, but all in a good way. Or probably because my parents are happier, because I'm pursuing my education, I'm working at the same time, and I've managed to somewhat maintain it. So that makes me happy too, that they're relaxed, that they know I'm responsible enough to handle the things that are thrown at me. And that's really all you could hope for. If your environment is healthy, then you're healthy. But if your parents are constantly worrying about you, or whoever you're living with, I say parents because I'm still living with them. The economy is all types of messed up. But if your environment is healthy, you're healthy. If your environment is unhealthy, eventually you will become unhealthy too, unless you leave. I am trying to be more social. It's something I've struggled with my entire life. You know, it's weird. I'm confident that I can't really live life on my own, but at the same time I have mad social anxiety. So it's such a paradox. I rely on people, but it's so hard for me to actually ask for things.